Wizzy Wizards, and welcome back to the pursuit of happiness with me, Pigtail Gurl, your friend and fellow traveller. And today's little topic is, well, I've moved again, as you might have noticed. That's one topic, still on the road. But I wanted to talk a little bit about state of affairs in the world today and why they're ridiculous. And once you really understand healing and human trauma and psychology, then you realize how ridiculous things are. And I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about is shaming people for being racist, being phobic, being scared of another group, right? Now, you know, most people will think right away, oh, how could you say that? Oh my God, it's just so wrong. It's just so bad. And particularly when it's aimed at you, you know, your knee-jerk reaction is, oh, that's just so bad. We just have to switch it off. But this is why I say that's ridiculous. And this is why for centuries, hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years on this planet, humans have been at war with each other and have a lot of trauma stored in genetic memory about different groups of people. And if you look in the animal kingdom, animals are quite selective. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So when you start trying to open up a society and come together and make more international communities, you're always going to have those people that have a strong genetic memory of having been invaded, overtaken, in their ancestry, which is all of us, really. We all have those memories. So they're naturally going to have trauma about people that act, think, or look different to them. And people can have well, one of the things is being racist. Another one would be homophobic. Another one would be transphobic. All these things that people try to shame us heavily into today. And so, of course, we all want a world where, you know, we've all got just the good things, the good place, and all the bad stuff is gone, right? But it's like, if I wish that on myself and I just wish all the bad things were gone, sadly, that doesn't work. For me to get rid of the bad things, I have to organically go through a process of healing, which is the only way you're going to get through and get over any kind of racism or phobias or fears to do with other people, is by healing things in yourself. So if you've had bad relationships and now you're afraid of, say, women, you can't just get rid of that fear because you want to. You can't just say, oh, I wish it was gone. Oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, you're so anti-women, if you say this to a guy. But that's not going to help that guy change. That's not going to help him heal. It's like if someone's got a bad leg and you go, oh, you're so stupid having a bad leg. Just get rid of your bad leg. Just get up and walk like the rest of us. Come on. Oh, you're so old fashioned. That's so wrong. I just want to cancel that. And yet it doesn't make the bad leg just magically get better. And what society does is just expect everyone to just get better. But of course, when minions are running things, they don't really want that. What they want is more problems and more trauma. And they generate an environment that, instead of healing things, exasperates them and just makes them worse. So this is how you know either retarded people, you'll probably get bleeped on YouTube for using that word, are in charge, or they're minions, because it doesn't work like that. It's like, as well, if you're at school with a load of kids and some kids just don't like other kids, you can't just say to them, just like that other kid, because as you'll remember at school, there would be, for most people, kids that you would like and kids that you just didn't like. And it would be your own personal reasons why you didn't like them in that moment. And no amount of a teacher or a parent just telling you just to like them would really change that on a deep intrinsic level. You could only pretend it unless you are taught how to overcome differences, let go of fears, heal your traumas, let go of generational traumas, all kinds of things in the psyche, you know, gestational trauma, traumas from childhood, from before you can even remember, traumas in your own family line. You know, there's so many different levels to everyone's trauma. And the only way you can bring change in a group of people is holistically and organically, for it to be solid and for it to work. And those things happen over time, naturally, right? Over time, naturally, humans, we gradually overcome our fears. We have more exposure to certain types of things, types of environments, types of people. And over generations, organically and naturally, if you don't shame people and cause more issues, they will find their way, right? Over, each generation will heal more and more. And it's when it happens organically and holistically, it's lasting. So then you can actually deal with problems where, problems that create disharmony in society. And instead of us being able to form a cohesive society, we have to be in our little broken down groups, afraid of each other, bickering, judging each other, pointing fingers at each other, right? But that has to happen organically. And I've seen these sorts of organic systems actually very nicely develop on islands, remote islands where you only have a society of 1,000, 2,000 people. They're quite interesting to look at the way they self-organize and deal organically with any issue that would arise. Yeah. So that was my point I wanted to make. It's so tiring and boring of people calling each other this thing, that thing, and making people feel bad about their phobias and fears and insecurities, because making people feel bad about stuff doesn't help it go away. It doesn't make it better. You can't demand people to just get over stuff and just expect to snap your finger and someone's phobia or fear is gone. I made a thumb come up. It agreed with me. I've never seen that before. The only way to get lasting change is naturally and organically via the coming together and education of people via real experience. Within real life, so they can get over whatever phobias. Like when I got over my phobia of spiders, I got over it gradually in my own time, and just by exposing myself to those spiders, holding them on my hand, touching them a little bit, being around them, until I could now sit with one on the wall and not freak out. So it took me a while, and I had to come to it in my own time. I couldn't be bullied into it. I couldn't be ridiculed into it. I couldn't be shamed and guilt tripped into it. I had to decide it on my own terms, that I was ready to let go of my fear. And this is what it all comes down to with humans. We have to allow people the time and space to authentically and organically want to change, and to then offer them a gracious, sacred space to do so within, without bullying, without ridicule. And it all goes back to some of my other videos about Elohim and how they have built societies where we judge and punish and reward, where this doesn't really work. It creates a lot of trauma in the psyche of humanity. And that's why we need to treat each other lovingly and offer true healing spaces for us to organically and holistically come out of it together. Yeah, so that's my thoughts anyway. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next episode. And don't forget, if you want healing sessions with me, you can find all my information in the description box down below. Please do reach out. If you'd like to donate to my channel, I really appreciate everyone that donates. I just want to say thank you. And if you want to donate Bitcoins, I accept Bitcoins. I have a Bitcoin wallet address. Someone asked me for that. Thank you, my dear, because they sent me a few Satoshis or bits of a bit. So I do appreciate your love and your support, my darlings. And I will see you all in the next episode of The Pursuit of Happiness. One love.